hide with me. If you think you're clever, then you've never weathered anyone like me. I've been training all my life. Guess your numbers aren't right, 'cause when she calls mine, I'm not gonna lie. Those pretty eyes, are you scared now? You can't erase all the things you've seen. Do you like my shows and all my monsters? Now you're my latest favorite thing. Do you wanna play, misbehave, say the ways you plan to hurt me, abuse and drain me dry? Now you wanna know if you'll make it out alive. Nah, I'm not gonna lie.
Cross my
something weird and it don't look good, who you gonna call? Ghostbusters! I ain't afraid of no ghosts. I ain't afraid of no ghosts. If you're seeing things running through your head, who can you call? Ghostbusters! An invisible man sleeping in your bed. Oh, who you gonna call? Ghostbusters! I ain't afraid of no ghosts. I ain't afraid of no ghosts. Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters! If you're all alone, pick up the phone and call Ghostbusters! I ain't afraid of no ghosts. I hear it likes the girls. I ain't afraid of no ghosts. Yeah, 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 yeah. Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters! If you had a dose of a freaky ghost, baby, you better call Ghostbusters! Let me tell you something. Bustin' makes me feel good. I ain't afraid of no ghosts. I ain't afraid of no ghosts. Don't get caught alone, oh no. Ghostbusters! When it comes through your door, unless you just want some more, I think you better call Ghostbusters! Ow! Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters! Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters! I think you better call Ghostbusters! Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters! I can't hear you. Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters! Louder! Ghostbusters! Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters! Who can you call?
Yo! You went too early, Patrick. Sorry. You went a little early. Oh, good morning, good afternoon. Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing? How are you, Patrick?
Living the dream, man.
Living the dream. Living the dream.
That's what I'm supposed to say, right?
That's what I say. It's true.
No rhinestone cowboy.
Stina, member for 28 months. So the rhinestone cowboy thing. We were at Power Platform Conference. The first day we got there, we just went to the bar, and there was it was you, me, and Venkatesh, I think, and then some other
people, right?
and some other folks joined afterward. And then so we had a group of like 6 of us, and then there was a live band guy, and he just starts singing something, and like it's just the regular words, and all of us and Patrick just starts singing it like word for word, and we're like, what is this? He's like, you don't know this song? You don't know it? We're like, no, we have no idea what this is. They get to the chorus and it's Rhinestone Cowboy. We're like, oh, we all know this. And Patrick just went off the whole song. It was bananas. So that's his jam, apparently. I had pictures of Sylvester Stallone with the bedazzled shirt in my head. I don't. So we'll get that shirt for you, Patrick, at Past Summit at karaoke, and you'll sing it. Oh. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Jason was not able to witness the event because he was busy doing things. So sorry, Jason. So, yeah. Donald, member for 40 months. Hey, Donald. Hope to see you at PASS. We will see you at PASS. It's 3 weeks away. 4 weeks. 4 weeks.
We got
3
a lot
weeks.
of work to do.
We do have a lot
I
of work.
completely forgot about something.
I know you did.
We are responsible.
We got 2 things we got to do, and I signed us up for a third thing. I don't know if you saw that. So that 25-minute session, I was like, they pushed.
Look at my face.
I know.
Okay.
I know. Although,
yeah, Crystal, yes, that face.
yeah, that's gonna be the new meme. So someone grab the screenshot of it and start like, all right. All right, welcome everyone. So happy to have all of you. If you are new to the live stream or Gynacube in general, put hashtag new in the chat. We always love seeing the new faces. Yeah, Jason's gonna be at PASS also. He's gonna be walking the floor.
Hey, Jason. Hey, Jason.
It's gonna be good. This is gonna be your first time at PASS Summit. All right. Also, shout out to. Need to move my coffee. Need to shout out to all of the members of Gynacube. Thank you for helping us do what we do. Your support is very much appreciated. If you see folks with the green name or the Gynacube icon next to their names, those are members of Gynacube. Thank you so much for helping us out. We love all of y'all, and so just thank you so much. If you want to learn more about being a member, check out the link on the screen or hit the join button down below to learn more. No commitment required. Just thanks for checking it out. Also, members, hold your questions until the second half. Chatmaster C will give you the green light and let you know to start putting them in the queue. Second half will be member-only chat, and we'll go into that. If you do have a burning question, we don't get through all the questions. We try to. But if you do have a burning question, you want to make sure it get asked. Super chats always take priority through the whole stream. So just be aware of that. If you do a super chat and it's for the purpose of asking a question, be sure to type the question in. I've seen folks sometimes where they did the super chat and they forgot the question. So sorry. Christian, member for 38 months. Thank you, sir. Good to be back on Gynacube Live again. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It is amazing. So, all right. Rules. Actually, before we do that, let's go back and see who is new. Do we have any new? I don't see any new. That's okay. Everyone's... Oh, there's one. Debbie's new. Hello. Dano is new. Akanian is new. Sorry, I didn't pronounce that right. Leonid is new from Sweden. I'm sure I messed that up. Let's see here. Toma, I've got Gynacube versus UFC 294. Gynacube's going to win. That's fine. Ventigium is data consulting is new. And then Shashank is new as well. Welcome, everyone. Love having you here. So welcome. Appreciate you showing up.
See, Jason, Crystal gets me. Crystal knows what Patrick's superpowers.
What are you guys even talking about? One. I don't understand.
You missed it. Jason said Patrick should coordinate a happy hour at PASS Summit.
That's not what Patrick does. Yeah, that's not what Patrick does. Patrick shows up to the happy hour. Patrick does not plan a happy hour.
Oh, she knows. So. Crystal knows. This is not.
That is not. You do not want Patrick planning. Yeah, Crystal does know. Now, if Chatmaster C was going to be there, Chatmaster C can plan an event like that. That is for
absolutely.
Sure. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. That's what she does, right?
All right.
She, if she can manage Patrick and Adam, she can manage anything.
Well, she managed the phones for the pictures. Like, that was crazy. That's mad skills right
like
there.
10, 11, 12 days.
Yeah. Well, she tried her best. Let's say that. Like, we are not, we're not the easiest to manage.
Did. I think she did better than most people could.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Paul is new as well. Welcome, Paul. Babysitting superpowers. Yeah. All right. So rules for the questions. We need rules to keep Patrick in line. So please put Q: in front of the question. Chatmaster C is standing by to get them queued up. One time is all you need. Please do not spam the question. If you spam the question after the third strike, you will get put into a timeout. Nobody wants that. And that'll happen by Chatmaster C or one of our lovely moderators, except for Patrick. And then yeah, don't do that. Don't be that person. And then yeah, questions. We get through as many questions as we can. We don't get through all of them. We're going to try our best. And then yeah, what am I missing? Am I missing something, Patrick? Is Patrick not lovely? James, all right.
The house is going to fall apart. If Chris
Patrick
leaves,
is very lovely. Manokama is new. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right. Are you ready, Patrick?
I'm ready. Let's rock.
Let's get into this. So, Heel with the first question. Matthias, where are you with the questions, man? Like, I don't know where you're at. So Van Lessing, yes, the questions were cleared on the member side, not the non-member side. So, we never clear them on the. Alex is coming in.
Oh, that's a good
all
one,
right.
Alex.
We'll do Alex
That's
after
a good one.
this. All right, so Heel, I have 2 calculation groups in October's Power BI release, because the October release, it had the new calculation groups inside of Power BI Desktop. It's amazing. Now I want to use the calculation items from each cell group within field parameters. How do I achieve that? Got bad
Adam,
news for you.
enough of all this talking.
All right.
Let's head over to my laptop.
All right.
Can you see it? Can you see my screen?
I can.
All right. So in the new release, and I promise I'm going to do a video on this. If you go into the model view, it's a preview feature. You got to turn it on. You can see I created a calculation group called averages. Okay. So I have multiple items. And what's interesting, if you've never created calculation groups, you can use this function called selected measure. So whichever measure you're using in the visual, it'll automatically run that calculation over that measure, okay? When you go back to the report view, all you see is that, okay? And so when I go to a new page and I choose this, the calculation group, there's the items there. If I switch this to a slicer, I can use this like field parameters. But the great thing about this calculation group is whatever measure I put in my visual, it'll automatically run the calculation over that visual. If I do try to do this with field parameters, right? If I try to do this with field parameters, it's basically the same thing. Basically the same thing.
Yeah.
So why would you do field parameters or over calculation group? You create the calculation group, go with the calculation group. Don't use the you don't need field parameters for that. It works the same way.
That it?
Yep.
I want more.
Patch. You want more? I got more. You want to see more?
Yeah, no, it's fine. I'm good.
Oh, we gotta save that for the video. We gotta save this for the video. I can't give the whole video away here.
All right, all right. We could just record the video live right here, and I'll just cut it up.
No, I can't.
All right. Alex had a super chat here. Alex, question, Patrick, dynamic query parameters, yes or no? And before Patrick answers, I'm going to inject. Hang on, Patrick. It's going to be an it depends. But yeah, there you go, Patrick.
I forgot.
Now you can answer.
Okay, so it depends.
Sure.
So Alex and I already talked about this.
Oh, I know. He's.
I know. If you really need to control the shape of the query, the way the query looks, you probably should use dynamic M parameters. Otherwise, if you can establish a relationship between whatever you're trying to make dynamic, the slicer, and the table that you're trying to filter, just make the relationship. It's just going to work. And you don't have to go through all the work of dynamic M parameters. Thank you.
It's like
What do you think,
Kerberos.
Alex?
It just works.
Yep, the relationships do. Kerberos doesn't. Alex, what do you think? What do you think, Alex?
Hey, I have a question for you, Patrick, though, on this topic.
Yeah.
What if I'm using Oracle?
What? Why does that matter?
Well, I want to use dynamic M parameters. Will it work on that data source?
I don't know the answer to that. Because I know it works on SQL and all. Yes, it should work on Oracle.
Does it? Are you sure? Are you willing to? Yeah, Oracle folds.
folds.
Yeah. So did SQL when dynamic M parameters first came out, but it didn't work with SQL in the beginning. It does now.
But it does now.
I know it does. And everyone just uses
Yeah.
SQL anyway, so who cares?
Lance is bringing up something about stored procedures. I have went through some iterations with dynamic M parameters and stored procedures, right? But I don't know. I gotta go do some more
Yeah.
testing on that.
Yeah.
I gotta do some more testing on that, Lance.
And then Shane said it breaks in data flows. But like, why would you?
haven't-
So the whole point of dynamic M parameters are going to be, isn't it more for a direct query scenario? So why would you do this in data flows? I don't understand the scenario with data flows.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Janet, you need to put a
Yeah,
cute
they're
hole
not.
in
They're
front
not.
of your question.
Just use a regular parameter. So, all right. Janet McAllister, thank you for becoming a member. Very much appreciated. What'd you say? You said
Put a
something.
Q.
No,
Put
no,
a
no.
Q in front of your question.
Well, yeah, but she's a member now, so hold it to the second half.
Okay. Okay.
Johnny, if it has to be on top of Oracle, I'm out of here. Hey man, I don't judge, Johnny. Data is data.
That's data.
Yeah. Because once you get it in Power BI, it's just a data source. You can just swap them around. Except us that work in Oracle. Well,
Oof.
we can't all live the dream. So.
What do you mean, use Excel as a database?
What? Where'd Excel come in?
Living the dream. See? Excel,
Excel or
There you
bust.
go.
Oh my God. All right, moving on. Next
Alex
question.
knew exactly where I was going. Alex knew.
Next question. All right, Loretta. Patrick did a video a month ago about paginated reports. The method worked that day, but does not now. What is the future of paginated reports?
Wait, what's the video?
I don't remember the video. What was the
Loretta,
video?
can you tell me the video?
Did you do a
I did?
video?
I don't.
Hang on.
I do lots of paginated videos, man.
Yeah. Hang on.
But I don't know what.
I'm looking.
What was
I'm
the
looking.
method?
What was the video?
Okay.
I don't know. Oh, the no more report builder. The no more the clicky draggy droppy. You did the new report builder or paginated experience in the browser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's the future of paginated reports? Oh, the future's bright. So
The
bright,
future
I gotta
is
wear
so bright.
shades.
Oh my gosh. Well, but like I'd love to know more. Like, it doesn't work now. Like, I don't know why. I don't know why it wouldn't. Like the experience, the feature itself is there. So-
What doesn't work? So
Yeah.
I kid Loretta. Loretta, what
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
work? That's what I need to know.
Yeah. Yeah. So it should work. We need more specifics on that though. So I don't know. In terms of the
Yeah,
future
if you could
paginated
tell us.
reports, like they're fully supported, and they just had some features come out with that web experience. Now, if you flip that question and say, "What's the future of Power BI report server?" That's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
And that future
that's
is not
different.
bright. It's being revved on the Power BI desktop side, but there's no new stuff coming there outside of that. What are you laughing
James
at?
says
What
he
I
wants
missed?
to drink the coffee. He wants to drink the coffee that I drink before these live streams.
No. So I do love.
She says she think that's her question, Adam. That's her question.
What?
The future of report server.
Yeah. So, hey, Alex,
Yeah.
can you drop the blog from Chris Finland from years ago? That blog is still relevant today, talking about the life cycle or lifespan of Power BI report server. So it's still supported, but there's no new updates coming outside of revving Power BI desktop.
Boom. How does he find this stuff so fast, man? How does he
he's
find
got, like,
these things so fast?
He's got a virtual index, and it's like a B tree, and it just goes right to it, and then he posts. That, or he's using
He does
GPT
it.
like a madman. So, yeah. And then Paul said, because we were talking about the future, he said, "Can't be any darker." I wonder if that's a comment about dark mode coming. So, love it. I love it. Okay. Sandeep, two-parter. Let's see. In the absence of cloud-based relational database in Fabric, what alternatives would you recommend to build a data warehouse in a cloud environment? Well, wait, data warehouse. We have data warehouses in Fabric.
Read the second. What's the second part?
I'm confused. Any other cloud-based relational databases or Parquet files in OneLake? What is more efficient? Well, but I'm confused. Hang on. So, because you just said data warehouse, Fabric has a data warehouse. So why can't we use that? It's in Fabric.
It's SQL engine.
Yeah, it's Synapse data warehousing inside of Fabric. So now, if you're referring to like an OLTP type database like Azure SQL Database, that's not inside of Fabric. So you could use Azure SQL Database for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, data warehouse is good for data warehousing. Yeah. So I'm not. Yeah.
Not quite sure
I don't know what the question there. Or like, I don't know where you're going on that one.
The answer is use the data warehouse in Fabric.
Yeah, which leverages the Delta files inside of OneLake. So now the other thing you can do, Data Mart. Yeah, Lance said Data Mart.
Yeah, you can use Data Mart.
The other thing you could do, like if you're
Fabric. Sorry, go ahead, Adam. Go ahead.
Wait, he said, hang on. What did he say? He said, but data warehouse in Fabric is just a set of Parquet files, right? No, so you've actually got the SQL engine sitting there. Well, it's based on, what was the
Polaris.
So so Azure Synapse Analytics, it's an actual like query processor on top of it. Yes, the source files, the data is stored in the Delta files in OneLake, but you've actually got the actual engine that's not Spark that's sitting there for data warehouse. That's the difference between Lakehouse and data warehouse.
Look at this question though. Is it efficient? No, it's efficient. Go for data warehouse. Go for data warehouse. It's efficient.
It's super fast.
You can take advantage of
and they're working on making it even better. So I guarantee it's going to be faster than if you were to do it in Azure Synapse Analytics on from the Azure side. It's definitely faster than that. And they're working on improving it. It's still in public preview, so it's going to get better. They're working on it. Now the question, so Thomas said, you don't need an MPP for a data warehouse, so the multi-processing, like the multi-node processing, and that may be true. Like that may be overkill for what you're doing. If you got a small set of data and you just want it, you could use the Data Mart, you could use Azure SQL Database. So I mean, you got a ton of options when it comes to working with data. But in terms of Fabric, like, and even if you had something external that was generating those Delta files, stick that into OneLake and then put Lakehouse or Data Warehouse on top of it, like that works too. So many options. So many options. Can it handle high volume? Yeah. What do you define as high volume? So.
I mean, for a data warehouse, though, I'm just thinking a data warehouse. What's the high volume?
We got to get bogged in on the. We're going to get bogged in.
Yeah, we got to get. Is it high volume data? Is it high volume concurrency? Is it high volume load? What is high volume? High volume can mean a lot of things. Okay.
Yep.
This is a good conversation. We got a high volume data. Yeah, it can handle high volume data. That's what
Shane,
it's built for.
Shane,
Absolutely.
Just stay tuned on the announcements for GA. It's coming.
Yeah, it can definitely handle high volume data.
High volume data.
Cindy.
Yeah, what does that mean though?
Yeah.
What is high volume? But yes, it can. So, all right.
Good question though, Cindy. Good question. I like it.
Yes. All right. Going back. One CSV file every 24 hours. That's not high volume.
You're talking about me. We need the coffee Alex drinks before these live streams.
Now, if you would have told me a SharePoint list, oof. All right, Frank. One of the data tables in my Power BI report is linked to an on-premises source. Cool. Firm does not permit on-premises gateway. Ooh, that sucks. Thoughts on how to schedule data refresh without on-premises data gateway? So you'd have to be able to. Well, I mean, it's going to be janky.
It depends on what you have access to.
Well, but the thing is,
$2.
Sure, whatever.
Okay.
Because like if you don't have on-premise data gateway and you need to process it from on-premises, that means you're gonna have to open up Power BI Desktop and hit the refresh button, right?
What? But what if I got real janky? There you go. Alex is going where I'm going. Write something.
No. They did. Didn't they announce that that's going away? They announced that's going away. There was a blog.
What the
Yeah, that's stopping. That's stopping.
What the?
Oh, Alex says no.
Alex
I
says no.
thought I saw. I'm gonna have to go back and follow it. That's why I didn't mention
Okay.
it, because I thought it was going away.
But regardless, you have to write. You're gonna have to write a process that can get the data somewhere that Power BI can access it without a gateway. That's what you're gonna have to do.
Yeah.
Now,
Ooh.
you can use.
Ooh. I got another way. So if you publish the data set, well, no. How would you do? No. That's
See
not gonna work.
this. What is this? KitKats.
KitKats.
That's what I'm talking about. If you write something that is writing that data to Azure Data Lake or Blob container, but you got to get it there. You got to write some.
Yeah, you're gonna have to write
authenticate-
code. You're gonna have to write some sort of ETL process that gets data. Either you're gonna refresh Power BI Desktop on-prem, which
Manually.
sucks, and that's not scalable, and then republish every time, or you're gonna do like what KitKats is saying, and you got to get that data in the cloud somehow from on-prem, and then process it from there. Which means your source is now gonna change. So instead of the on-prem data source, you're changing it to the blob, and or you can start using the Fabric stuff as a result of that.
All right.
So-
Read Alex's post. This is good. This is good.
Or you can talk to your team about how you're creating and spreading risk by exporting data from. Yes.
Yes, I love it, Alex.
100%.
I love it.
100%.
Love it, Alex.
All right, and Alex, I gotta go back because I'm almost positive I saw that was going away. I'm gonna do that after the stream. Almost positive.
There's so
I saw
many.
it.
There's so many good ideas though.
Yeah, lots
that's
of ideas.
here.
This is why I love the chat. Like chats.
Yeah,
They bring it.
so many good ideas.
Yeah. So Lance, you can't write to the data set, but you could end up you can use the notebook to get the data staged and then kick off the processing of the data set or the refresh.
Create a notebook to write.
But you
to
can't
the
write
data set.
directly to the data set. So, but yeah, I love what you're thinking. Yeah, but with the data flow, you still gotta get the data from
Put the
on-prem.
data.
So
Yeah. It's so many. It's so many. You're going to be doing this all day. You might as well move to the next question. There's tons and tons
yes,
of great ideas.
Yes, Leslie.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and I
Yeah.
would like, why not the on-prem gateway? Like, I don't understand. I would challenge that a little bit.
Data exfiltration.
So we had some of those conversations this last week, and Patrick's like, I can just take a picture of my monitor screen and put that out there on the internet. Like, there you go, data exfiltration. What's stopping me from doing that? So,
What did David say? He said, "Great idea, David." What did David say? I missed it.
Wait. David
Frank
said,
"Great idea."
write the data to a synced directory that syncs with OneDrive SharePoint. See, but if you're doing that, why not use the gateway? Like, what's the difference? Because if you're using OneDrive that's syncing files, like, why not use the gateway? It's the same. Oh my gosh. I get it. You're not wrong, David, but I'm just like, why would to go down that process is mind-boggling. All right, cool. Moving on. How much time we got?
It's a good conversation. These are some good
I
conversations. This
I
morning.
know.
Yeah.
I know. All right, Steven, two-parter.
Frank says, "My company will not let me use the gateway, Adam. Pay
Okay.
attention."
All right, hang on. Frank, does your company let you use OneDrive that syncs files to OneDrive in the cloud? Like OneDrive for Business or whatever. Do they let you do that? Then I would go back and say, what's the difference? You're syncing stuff from on-prem to the cloud. What's the difference? Ask them that. Because I bet you are. I bet you are. Yes, of course you are. Because everyone loves OneDrive. And it's so easy, and we trust that. Why not the on-prem data gateway? So, yeah. I do that a lot in conversations, too, where they're like, oh, we can't, for sharing with people or individuals. And I'm like, well, how do you do this with OneDrive? Because you do the same exact thing with OneDrive. And they're like, oh, yeah, good point. So I'm like, okay. Just like,
Good conversation,
what's
though, Frank.
different? All right. Jarrell coming in with a super chat. Bump in priority. All right. How do you suggest Power BI developers, data analysts ensure job security with Copilot coming soon, especially for those who aren't experts at the data, but just go from project to project? Love Alex's comment. I actually feel more secure with Copilot coming. So I think the thing, my take on this is Copilot's not going to replace the job. I think it's going to make you more efficient, at the job, and or like get you started and get quicker, right? So you're more efficient, and then you can tweak and adjust based on that. You're going to see a lot of things where people that aren't really good with data, I think this helps them get over that hurdle and then actually produce results and value for the business. So I'm not worried about it either. I kind of go with Alex, and I'm not worried. Patrick's absolutely worried. Go ahead, Patrick.
So I will tell you this from my very small experience with these co-pilots and chat GPTs. They give you something, but they don't always give you exactly what you need, right?
Sure.
And it's still going to require a level of expertise to understand and then interpret the results that it gives you, so that you can implement it to get the exact answer you need. Drill. So I right now, we don't have Skynet. Right, we don't have Skynet, so don't worry about it, man. Just keep going, keep doing what you're doing. You know, keep becoming more of an expert in your area. And as these co-pilots and stuff get out, they'll produce it, and you'll just make whatever it produces better. That's what I think.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's gonna augment and enhance what you're creating. So it's not gonna replace, at least.
And that's
not
the
today.
conversation I've had several times with people, because they always, Copilot's going to replace my job. No, it's not. It's going to make you better. It's just going to make you better, man. It's just going to make you better.
And my thing also is validate everything that you're doing with Copilot, because it's not perfect. It's just going off of what it can find, and that doesn't mean it's right. So you absolutely have to validate it.
And it's probably using something you put out there. So
Yeah. We do this all the time, like where Patrick's like, man, like I wonder what this is. We search for it, like, oh, I did a video on that. Like, I didn't even know. That's because this is a direct query mine, not an import mine.
Oh my god. So
All right.
I hope that helps. Hope that helps.
Yeah.
Hope that helps.
All right, I'm gonna grab Steven's question before Chatmaster C clears the queue.
God,
All
there's
right.
a lot of questions.
I know. There's so many we're not going to get to. Like many orgs, we have a data warehouse and many distinct SaaS solutions. Is it conceivable to ingest some or all of the data from those multiple SaaS solutions into Fabric via shortcuts? Ooh, okay. There's a second part here. Ultimately mashing the data together, but initially just unifying the reporting platforms. Are others doing this? What can vendors do to help? So let me say this about shortcuts, because there's a misconception here, like what shortcuts all can do. So shortcuts, right now you can do a shortcut to Azure Data Lake Storage, and you can do a shortcut to Amazon S3 bucket. Google shortcuts are coming, so to Google Storage. The key here is that shortcuts are to storage. So if you have a SaaS product out there, let's say you've got Salesforce, right? And you want to get data there, you can't do a shortcut to Salesforce. That's not a storage system. So you'd have to have some processing in place, some ETL, maybe it's a pipeline, maybe it's something else that's going to go to your SaaS platform. Like there's some API where you can extract the data, and it's going to pull that, do what it needs to do, and then get it into a Delta file sitting in one lake. Right? And or you've got some external process that is going to do that and get it into some like Azure Data Lake Storage or an S3 bucket or a Google storage, right? And then you're going to do a shortcut to that, right? So that and then from there, then you can do the notebooks and the Lakehouse and the warehouse and all the cool stuff inside of Fabric. So shortcuts are not, the exception here, which breaks my rule of shortcuts go to storage, is Dataverse. So I need to dig into the Dataverse thing a little more on, So Dataverse is not storage, so it kind of breaks that whole approach. But that would be pretty amazing too. So, but if it's like Salesforce, we don't have that. So, or Fabric doesn't have that. But I wouldn't expect there to be a shortcut to Salesforce. So, anyway.
I don't know who Kit Kats is, but I love the comments. Dataverse equals expensive. I didn't even know how much Dataverse costs. I have no idea.
Well, Dataverse itself, I don't think costs anything. It's the stuff on top of it, that
Dynamics and everything else, right?
Power Apps, and so.
Look at Scott. Dataverse equals amazing.
Scott is biased. I will say that. We're biased as well. So.
I like Jason's even follow-up. Yes, Jason. Scott is amazing. Scott is amazing. All right.
right, cool. All right, Chatmaster C has cleared the queue and signaled members. Now is the time to get your questions in. Let's go with Chatmaster C to answer your question in Teams. I did not. I was saving it for this, so we'll get it on this round. So I'm going to kick over to members only mode. So that means members and moderators can continue to chat. Everyone else can still watch the stream, learn all the great knowledge, but you need to be a member in order to participate in the chat or moderator. If you do have a question we didn't get to, there were a lot of them. Super chats will take priority. So just remember to type in the question if you go that route. Otherwise, come back next week. Come back next week.
I have not seen this many questions in a long time. That was wow.
All right, so let's kick over to member only. And one of the benefits of being a member at the visitor or producer tier is you can pre-submit questions. And we do have one. So this was actually from a little bit ago, and we kind of lost it with all the travels and stuff. But we're bringing it back. So here we go. Here is the question. So from Jonathan, when building a data set for a paginated report, if you use the query designer, it generates DAX that seems to do a cross join between tables in a relationship. I found an article that explains the problem. I'm using Power BI dataset instead of analysis services. That's fine. Does that mean I always need to include a measure when I build out the query, or am I missing something? What if I just want a table with no measures?
Short answer, you need a measure. Short answer, you need a measure. Right?
Need a measure.
Long answer, let's head over to my laptop, Adam.
All right.
All right. So in Power BI Report Builder, I've connected to okay, let me zoom in because Adam's going to complain. I've connected to a Power BI data set, and I've created a data set over that data set, okay? And if we go here, you'll see the DAX that I've generated. I just went to Query Designer and I chose 2 columns from 2 different dimensions, all right? So I do that. And I thought I made a video on this, and I can't find it.
You can't find it.
And so now I just brought those those exact same 2 attributes. You can see these 2 attributes. I just put them into a table, and now I have a count, okay? So I'm going to run this, Adam. I'm going to run this query.
All right.
This report. So I'm running this report, and you'll
6,000.
see here's 6,000 rows. 6,000 rows here.
That
That's
might be
just the row
right.
count. And
That might be right. How do you know it's not right?
This is all the stuff. Okay. So now, and I'm thinking, I'm assuming he just wants a table that shows the years and the product. So whatever those 2 attributes are. If I go here, go to Query Designer, and all I'm going to do is add a measure. That's it.
Yeah.
I just added a measure to that result set. Click OK. The query is slightly different. Okay, the query is slightly different. So it's going to summarize columns by those 2 attributes, and it's including a measure. And that measure, because the measure is coming from a fact table, and both of those tables are related to that fact table, that measure now is going to resolve that relationship for me. And so now if I go over here and run this, what you'll see, let me rerun this. Let's see, run this. What you're going to see is that, oh, hang on one second. I forgot to. I hit cancel. Oh, I hit cancel. Dang it. Hang on one second. Let me add it. I hit cancel. And of course, it's going to take a little bit for it to load now. Oh, boy, that's just great. Okay, here we go.
Bother.
So I'm going to add that measure. I hit cancel, man. I hit cancel. Click OK. Click OK. Come on. Okay, there we go. So now if I run this, what you're going to see is 866 rows. Even if I don't include that measure in the table, it's still part of the query. And so now it's actually giving me a result set that's indicative of, what actually has sales between the year and the product. It's not just generating a Cartesian product like it would do before. And you can take those queries and run them in DAX Studio, Adam, and then you can see the difference also that way.
Yeah.
So you gotta add a measure to your query.
Gotta add a measure. All right. Yeah. All right. Cool. Thank you, Pat. Thank you.
Yeah,
Patrick.
Johnny. If you want a list of customers and products, just include that query in the measure.
Yeah.
Just include that measure in the query. Well, duh. Just include that measure in the query. And I didn't. If you look at what I did, I got to do a video on this. I thought I did one. I'm gonna do a video on this. And if you look at my table, the table that I have in the report, it's only showing 866 rows. I don't have to include that measure in the visual. It still resolves because that measure is part of the query.
Yep. Yep. Cool. Oh, wow. All right. So
Something like that.
going to the queue, we got a question from Scott Powell. This was actually during the countdown, or even during the countdown. But he said he was traveling, so I don't know if Scott's still in there. So we're grabbing it, just because. So it says, "Hey guys, would love blah blah pre-submitted, but I'm traveling. In Fabric, does each instance of warehouse have memory CPU overhead? Build single data warehouse with multiple projects, or smaller ones, one project each?" So yes. So any item you create in Power BI from an engine perspective, so data warehouses, lakehouses, Power BI data sets, when you go and use those items, there's going to be compute as a part of it, right? And that's fine, Patrick. I'm saying yes. The answer is yes. And so that's going to go against your capacity, right? So whatever capacity units you have, based on the compute you have, that will count against it, regardless of how many of them you have, whether you just have one data warehouse or multiple data warehouses. Each one of those will count against a given capacity. So, yeah, the answer is yes. Patrick, tell me why it depends.
Wait. And somebody beat me. All your talking, somebody beat me to.
Yeah,
I mean, are we gonna duplicate data across these multiple projects? Are we now creating data silos with these multiple data warehouses?
No. There's just one copy of the data.
Well, but if they have one data warehouse or multiple data warehouses, are we maintaining multiple dimensions, calendars, and products?
Doesn't matter.
No. I get, but you're not reading the second part.
Oh, I read it.
Build single DW with multiple projects, or smaller ones with one project.
But Patrick, you're not applying Fabric logic to it. You're applying old school logic to it, not Fabric logic.
Okay.
Continue. I'm sorry. I cut you off. Keep going.
It depends.
It does not
depends
depend
on so many. The first part it does not. I agree. The first part it does not. You're absolutely correct. Part one. I'm talking about part two.
All right.
Single DW
I'll give you that one.
Multiple,
I'll give you that one.
Okay. Build single DW with multiple projects, the smaller ones. You got to think about your data warehouse project. What are you trying to do?
Yeah.
What questions are you trying to answer?
I agree.
And so
now the other beautiful thing too is if you have multiple data warehouse projects, like so you have different data warehouse items, those could be assigned to different capacities as well, right? Because depending on the workspace they're in. However, the data from a duplicating data perspective, though, if we go like if we're leveraging shortcuts, we're doing things like that, we can leverage one copy of the data and not duplicate the data. But coming back to the memory CPU piece of that, you are going to churn CPU on all of those items, so as they're used.
Because you can create smaller data warehouses in the same workspace and do three-part naming to reference those in views and things like that. So if I created a data warehouse that had a product dimension that I needed to reuse in another one, but that's in the same workspace today, you can three-part name it and view it, and reference it. So there's
that,
so
or
many
we do
ways.
a shortcut out to it, right? And now we brought it in, but we haven't moved the data, right? So that's the beauty
what I'm
of
saying.
it.
It depends. There's so many things. Right?
So,
Yeah.
Okay. That's a good question. Fabric
that's a good
logic is
question.
the best logic. I just got to apply some threads to the question, man. That's it. Applying my threads. Getting it all fabricized.
These have been some of the best questions in a long time.
To invoke Alex, we're all fabricators.
Fabricators.
Here we go.
What are we fabricating?
I haven't heard that in a while, Alex. I don't know why, but like that kind of died off a little bit. I'm bringing it back.
That's a T-shirt.
Bringing
That's
it back.
a T-shirt, Johnny.
Yeah.
One lake to rule them all. That's a T-shirt.
All right. That was a good question, though. Robin, I know. It's a little tongue in cheek. It's tongue in cheek.
Look at this last. By Lance. Look at this message by Lance. If there's no duplication, your data warehouse is not big enough.
But again, I don't want to duplicate the data, right? Just shortcut it. Leave the data where it is. Reuse it. That's the beauty of Fabric.
That's great.
Yeah. Love it. All right. Moving on. Tim. Hello, Tim. Client with 5 tenants. Okay. Moving to one tenant in the future. Amazing. Implementing Power BI. Have basic Office user licenses, 100 users. I'm going to assume E3. Optimal pro licensing and authentication strategy. One central tenant with guest accounts. It depends. So, yeah, I mean that it depends. There's a lot of different. We've worked with various customers that have multiple tenants, especially when you get into like international situations where they have different tenants depending on the region. And I've seen everything. So it just depends. You've got to apply the licensing somewhere. So what's the easiest in your situation in terms from a billing perspective and where you want to manage those licenses and accounts? That's where you should do it. So I don't have a right answer for you. It just depends on who's managing it and where the red tape is and how you want to work around that. So,
Another good question. It's another good question, though.
So I don't know if that answers you. I mean, we'd have to like whiteboard a whole bunch of stuff. So it just depends. You have to look at.
I have a new whiteboard, by the way.
Is there anything on it?
Yeah, big to-do list.
Okay. All right. Ventagium Data Consulting, a new member. Welcome. What are good practices of sharing reports that have Lakehouse behind them without giving end users read access to the actual Lakehouse? So there are discussions around that. There are ways to do this, and so you're going to have to today. You're going to have to go and do some security work on the SQL endpoint, right? Like you can do some views. You can lock those things down from the SQL endpoint perspective. So that's you're going to have to play around with that. There is some guidance documentation that's in the work on this. So stay tuned. That is something that we're trying to put. Like Microsoft's trying to put some guidance around to help you with that in terms of what's available today, while we wait for other things to come. But today you're gonna have to apply it on the SQL endpoint and like put permissions and stuff there to block and provide access. So it's a little extra work, but you do have options. So it's not like you can't do anything. So your security options are definitely there. And it will get better as Fabric goes on. So we'll be doing a video on that as well. So stay tuned on that.
Not me.
Absolutely, it'll get better in the future. So we're still in public preview. There's stuff coming. They've talked about one security. They've talked about other options. So yes, there are things that are coming.
I'm not doing a video on that.
Okay.
Adam's doing a video on that.
Okay. All right. So Johnny's asking, is one security going to help? It depends on what your goals and challenges are. So yes, it will.
Oh, did you say it depends?
I did. So yeah, like it'll provide. It'll absolutely do that over time. Like it's gonna get better. Like I don't know if you looked at the roadmap, the release plans. So the one security for tables and files is coming first, and so that'll help you with restricting those items. And then there'll be other stuff coming after that. So I look back at, this is the journey that Fabric is in, right? We're in public preview on Fabric.
You all put him on a soapbox, and this is not going to end. This is not going to end.
No, I just want to, like, I'm looking, and we've had these conversations, internally, like just from a team perspective, and I've shot Patrick down on this multiple times. Like, I look back at when Power BI first came out. If we can do the way-back machine, and we go back to when Power BI first came out, and it was a struggle. Haven't you seen Wayne's World?
Yeah, but
yeah.
Okay.
So you like when it first came out, like it wasn't like we had releases week after week, right? Stuff was coming and it got better, and now it's like where we're at today, and we're in that same journey with Fabric. And so there are challenges, yes. There are ways to work around these things. There are options available to you that maybe require a few more clicks. It will get better. I'm excited to see what all this is going to... 2 years, a year or two from now, like, we're going to look back and go, remember when? Like, yeah,
Yeah.
That's what we do with Power BI today. Remember when Power BI first came out? Remember when Power BI Premium first came out? We didn't even have a capacity metrics app, and we were flying blind. And yeah. So
we're not worthy, Adam. We're not worthy.
I know.
We're not worthy. So, Kevin, I didn't even realize. Kevin asked, "Do we need a conversion table?" I didn't even realize I was holding pesos up. I thought it was $1. So my bad.
Wow, he's shortchanging you on the dollar with a peso.
I didn't even know. I didn't even know, man. I didn't even know.
All right.
Sorry.
That sounds like the Adam Saxton ending of the movie. What? Sometimes I do things that throws Patrick off. And it's amazing when that happens. All right, Leslie. With B2B, invited guests converted to a member, we're running into some identity confusion. Example, external users logged into the tenant. External users can see everything they should. Well, that's good. Then part 2, they go to set up a data flow, and what comes up is their native tenant resource. Any idea? Don't say separate browsers. This does not resolve. I want to say that I've seen that happen.
We have to test that.
I have to test it. Yeah, I know that chat was going off on some things, and I saw someone asked if the Microsoft Cloud App Security was in play. I don't know how that would relate to this, but also Cloud App Security, if you didn't know, has been rolled into Microsoft Defender. That's now Defender for Cloud Apps, just in case you were curious. Yeah. So I did see, like in Power BI Desktop, I do know there was an issue, and I had a long discussion with the developers on this, where if you signed in with your external user into the tenant inside of Power BI Desktop, I did this video. Actually, I need to update the video they asked me to update the video. And when you did that, you went to get data, you would actually see the items from your home tenant, not the other thing. And it had to do with how like Azure AD was doing some things inside of it. I think they made a change that like they've got to go back and look at it. So I think there's some things from an auth perspective in Azure AD that's causing some confusion there based on the tenants that are involved. I don't have an answer for you though on that. I would say if you're actually seeing this inside the service, open a support ticket because that needs to be updated. But I think it's around the libraries for Azure AD that's causing some of that those items. Yeah. Yeah, and Alex, where I saw it was in the get data experience. Like we saw different things in there, but when they were investigating it, I think it had something to do with the Azure AD libraries that had been updated and something. Kerberos left the chat. It's like Kerberos. It just works. It doesn't in this case, but yeah. So Leslie, yeah, I would say you got to open a support ticket on that. There's something going on. So yes, sorry, Kevin. Entra ID. Yes, keeping me honest. Keeping me honest. All right. Sorry, Leslie. I don't have a magic answer there. Does premium or pro licensing require an additional Power Automate license for solutions, or does either of those contain some capacity for Power Automate? No.
You got to buy it.
Yeah, Power Automate's a whole separate licensing thing. It's not part of Power BI. So even though they're all under Power Platform, there's not a single... I almost said there's not a single Power Platform license. There technically is, but that Power Platform license only covers like Power Apps and Power Automate and that stuff. It doesn't cover. Power BI is a separate licensing scheme. So if you want to use both, you got to buy the licenses for both, not just the Power BI stuff.
Oh, good. Alex made a good point though. What are you trying to do? Because you probably could do a pipeline.
Oh yeah.
What are you trying to do?
Yeah. What are you doing? And or data activator. Yeah.
Oh.
So, and we're going to be doing some videos on Data Activator with Mr. Will Thompson.
Stay tuned.
So,
Stay tuned.
Yeah. And so, user 457 says there's also free options in Power Automate. If you're trying to use the premium connectors, you got to buy the license. And typically, like if you're doing an actual enterprise type thing, chances are you're going to need the premium connectors there. So, but like Alex said, like take a look at pipelines, take a look at, if you already have capacity, take a look at the fabric items and see if that can get it done for you. So, what?
I'm reading Kevin's comment.
Wait, what? Data activator does not require
What's
a
a P-
Power
what's
Automate
PA?
license. Power
No,
Automate.
it does not
No.
require Power Automate.
It's
No,
part
no,
of
no,
Fabric.
no.
Why would that require a Power Automate license? I don't understand that.
Oh, for
Now,
custom actions. Well, if you're gonna,
Yeah,
if you're
yeah.
gonna call Power Automate,
yeah,
yes.
if you're leveraging Power Automate, yeah, anything that uses Power Automate needs a Power Automate license. That's not a data activator thing, though. It's data activators trying to leverage Power Automate, and you need a license for Power Automate. So, yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. So, let's see here. All right. Victor. I have a slicer that has a list of products. Okay. Not a drop down. It's just a list. So, is it possible to create another slicer that will use multiple measures to sort the product list? Slicer 2 will default to one measure at a time. I think what he's looking for, Patrick, is this whole cascading slicer thing where you can use like a visual level filter to adjust. So like if I choose something out of slicer 2, it'll filter down slicer 1. And so that you can use a visual level filter. But yeah, that.
But it's saying sort the product list. I don't know.
Oh, sorting.
They want to sort.
No, I
'Cause
mean,
I think they want to say.
you'd have to do that from a DAX
ahead.
perspective, right? You could do that from a measure.
I just don't know how you want to sort that. I don't understand.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Like sorted ascending, descending based on a measure, a selected measure from another slicer? But then if you want to put a measure in a slicer, you got to make it a field parameter, right? You can't put a measure in a slicer.
Yeah. I don't know how that would work. So.
Maybe we're missing something, Victor.
Yeah. So I don't know that when you get into sorting can be a little awkward.
Well, I mean, is there a way to? I guess there is a way to dynamically control the sort.
Well,
DAX,
you'd have to do it from DAX. Like you can't do it
Yeah.
from like I can't say change this on the on the slicer itself.
Yeah.
Like I can't update the
Yeah.
property on the slicer. So.
Yeah.
So you'd have to do it from a DAX perspective. But even if you did a visual level filter, that's not going to control the sort. That's going to control what's filtered, not controlling the sort. So the sort has to come from what you actually drop into the slicer. So that's where you're going to run into a problem.
I'm stuck on the sort. I'm stuck on the sort.
I know you are. That's normal. So, okay. All right. Sorry, Victor. I think the answer is no, but we'd have to look at it more. Robin. This might be a bit out there. We like that. We like when it's out there. But do you know if the one-click to data lake from Dynamic 365 will be coming to BC? BC. Oh my gosh.
What is BC? The business?
Don't you remember the conversation at Power Platform Conference where the argument happened
Business Central.
because I was yelled at that I didn't know what BC or Business Central was, and I'm like, I'm not I live in Fabric and Power BI. I don't know what I
still don't know what business.
I asked the question, what is that? Like they said BC, and I'm like, what is BC? And they're like Business Central. I'm like, what is that? And it was a Dynamics thing, and I'm like, I don't know anything about that. I don't know what that is or what it does. So Scott's here. Scott's here.
Oh look, there you go. He said,
I don't know what the status is.
before Q.
But this BC, and then there were like 3 separate people that came up to us at Power Platform Conference. It was all about Business Central. So apparently Business Central is a big deal. And I'm sure it is. I've just not done anything with it. So, but it was like, the fact that I didn't do anything was like, I'm sorry. I don't know everything.
Yeah. We don't know the status yet. If Scott doesn't know, we don't know.
Yeah. So, yeah, and there's the info for Business Central, and Scott's the Dynamics guy, or has a lot of Dynamics background on the Fabric Cat team. So thank you, Scott. Appreciate you being here.
Yep, we do.
Scott is an amazing person. So, Yeah.
Thanks, God.
So yes, I was just like, no, Robin, you're fine. You're fine. It was just, it brings up that visceral conversation that we had at Power Platform Conference. I was like, they were taking offense. I didn't mean it. I wasn't messing with them. I was being honest. I didn't know.
Hey, look at Stina's.
You don't know everything.
You don't know everything.
That is,
With the
yeah.
face. Look at the face.
I don't know everything. I'll say I don't know. Like in Business Central, I don't know. I don't know what that is. So
There's a question that I don't know. I saw a queue next to it, and I asked you to do a video on this. I don't know how it didn't make the queue. But do you
From
have more?
Janet?
In the queue? Do you have more?
yeah, there's 3 more. Are you talking about Janet's question?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Power BI, SQL, a definite to know. Any other languages? Is that what you're referring
Can
to?
I say something?
No, you can't say anything.
SQL.
This isn't your stream.
It depends. It depends. You don't have to know SQL.
No.
You need to know. I mean, if somebody creates a data warehouse for you and you can connect to that data warehouse, you can do all your data prep in Power BI and keep moving. But if you need to write whatever your source is, so if the source at your organization is Snowflake, then SQL. You know, if you got to write some SQL against it, then you need to know SQL. But,
Python, all the things.
but maybe your source is Excel. SQL's,
I can write
SQL's
SQL
great to
against
know,
Excel.
though. Okay, you can't.
Through an
that's
ODBC
true
connector, I
statement.
can write.
True statement. SQL's great to know, Janet. It's great to know. I mean, I've been writing SQL for decades.
SQL's a
but-
very versatile.
Yes.
Wow. That was
What?
harsh. Chatmaster C wishes she had a mute button for me. Ouch. That hurt.
Any other languages, though, Adam? Any other languages?
I mean, from a fabric perspective, obviously Python is front and center as well. So I'd say between Python and SQL. But if you know one of them, then you have options.
You could.
So it makes you more versatile, though, as a developer or a business analyst, if you know these items. So DAX, obviously Johnny DAX. Yeah.
But Janet, you're right. If I had to suggest a language for anyone using Power BI, it would be SQL. Yes.
SQL. Yeah.
Yes.
Outside of DAX. DAX
Yep.
is given. Yeah. So, all right, let's grab one more.
But that's not the question. That's
What
not
was the question?
That was not it.
That was what was in the queue.
Somebody posted a question. I asked you to do a video on this, and you never did it. Is there a
the KPI
video
card?
Yeah. Did you make that video?
Yeah, that
yet?
was Janet. Yeah, it was Janet also.
Did you make that video yet?
No.
Oh, I asked for
Where
that
was it?
video to be made, but
When?
long time ago when this thing first came out back in June or July. I said, Adam, ooh, that'd be a great video for you. It's like I'm on top of it. I'm going to do that, and it never.
I'll
came
put it
to
on my
fruition.
whiteboard. Put it on my whiteboard. It's on the whiteboard.
That's right, Crystal. Nobody listens to Patrick.
Nobody listens to Patrick. Nobody listens to Adam either. So we're in it together, my friend. Oh my goodness! All right, so we did not clear the queue. There are a few more, but we are at time. So
Dang it.
I know. There were like 2 more.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
oh, Chatmaster C cleared the. Oh no, I was searching. Never mind. I had a filter thing. There were 3 more questions in the queue. So,
Yeah.
all right, Patrick. Closing words of wisdom.
Take time for yourself. You got to take time for yourself. Really important. It's really important, right? There's a lot of people in your life, but you got to take time for yourself.
Yeah, I love it. All right, everyone. We'll be back next Saturday. Marco Russo will be on the stream next Saturday with us. So excited about that. And have a great rest of your weekend and have an amazing week next week. We love y'all. We'll see you next week.
So welcome to the fire. I'm the one with the light. Feel it burning through your veins as we're walking through the flames, getting higher. So welcome to the fire. Welcome to the fire. Feel it burning through your veins as we're walking through the flames, getting higher. So
I've been waiting for this moment, the final battle of the chosen. See, I'm never gonna quit, got my legacy set in motion. So welcome to the fire.